reasons that strategies fail, I think, are probably mostly focused around the fact that organizations underestimate exactly what it's going to take to deliver against the strategic plan or the strategic objectives. It makes a lot of sense, though, when you think about it, because most strategic plans are forecasting major change, or they're planning for quite significant activities around change. And most organizations fail to manage the change effectively. They fail to address the fact that they will have to perhaps change the culture, and they'll have to look at bringing people with them, and they'll have to also address things like where the power is in the delivery for some of these strategic objectives. I think that generally one of the worst instances of causing strategic objectives to fail and not really fulfilling the ambitions of the organization falls around the area of insufficient allocation of resources to strategy execution. So there's just not enough money, there's not enough effort, there's not enough people allocated to ensuring that the strategic objectives are delivered. Very often upper management or senior management fails to really truly support the rollout or implementation or execution of the strategy. And very often there are severe communication problems. So the articulation of the strategy into a proper set of plans, actions and metrics, it fails. Efficient and proper communication of the strategy to staff, proper translation, I suppose, of the ideas around the strategic plan into tangible, communicable concept to staff is often lacking in the organizations. I think the other key significant thing is that many organizations really sort of want to dive in immediately and get going. So this idea is that you develop the plan and then you simply move straight to implementation. Rather, I think the most successful organizations that I've worked with have stood back again from the development, and they've said to themselves, how do we make sure that the organization operational structure is going to be robust enough and effective enough to deliver against the strategies? And how do we make sure that there are no conflicts around where the power sits and the decision-making sits within the operational structure to make sure that delivery is effective and implementable. So finally, I think the other thing that I would mention would be often you see a real lack of ownership around the strategy. Some of this is because it's been communicated badly, or because the strategy itself is quite poor, or it's not clear, or it's very vague, or really because people don't have that buy-in. They don't have that sense of involvement, engagement, and ownership. And once that happens, we find that lots of resistors start rising up in the organization. There are lots of barriers start being created because people just don't feel connected to the strategy. They don't understand it. They maybe don't like it because it represents change, and therefore they will resist it. And that might be very passive resistance. It might be open and quite aggressive resistance. But the organization needs to draw breath once it's developed a strategy, stand back, look at how it can tackle all of these elements to ensure that when it moves to implementation, the implementation is really effective.